Hello, everybody. This is Becky from What Becky Did Last Night, and today I'm here with the Grabie 48 Alcohol Markers Dual Tip set here. This has been sent to me from Grabie to give some impartial, unbiased reviews and have a little play with these. Okie dokie, I got this box all figured out now. You take this and you push it down, and halfway down, where is it? There are some notches. By the way, can you see how much these pens spray? I'm going to say they're very full of ink, so don't take the caps off over your artwork. But yes, you push this little tray down to the middle, and then that will keep them upright. And I'm guessing the reason they don't do this for you already is because they need to keep the space for the book or whatever they need to do for packaging. All right, I have swatched out all of these colors, and it is really handy that they have the swatch sheets in the paper that they're expecting that you're going to color with, because then you can see what the colors are like directly. These icons are cute. Again, not my thing, but this isn't a gift for me. This is to see, if we can find a place for it for you guys. Good color range, I would say. As I mentioned, I like to do 3 color blends, so I'm always looking at this to see if I can make a mid shade, a light, and a dark. So I'm not really seeing it for all of the colors. Yellows, we've got a selection, lots of pinks here. Some choices for greens. The other thing I'm looking at is, whether we have the cools and the warms, because you're going to want to blend usually cool colors together or warm colors together. Not always. You can, depends on what the item is made out of, but we only have one warm gray. We have 3 cool grays, so there's a blend, but only one warm gray, which yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's the way it is. Color Splendor, of course, which would probably blend out these kind of colors if you wanted to blend these lighter shades into a white, or if you wanted to lift some up. There was definitely some colors that just kept bleeding past the line. But what's interesting is this paper is made of Grabie premium marker paper, which is excellent for color blending. And then it does say by layering in 2 steps. So that's why they have the perforation there. It's you can see how the color lays on top so that you can get a darker shade. So this is their marker paper. And as you can see, it didn't have a huge bleed through on the other side. So I do believe them when they say that. I'll give some coloring to this in a moment, but first I need to reassemble all these pens. And ta-da, there they all are. Now they don't wobble around, and little coloring book can still fit on top. So like I say, this is a really cute travel set. I'm going to color in a couple of these icons in here, but I'm going to be, let's see, I'm going to pull these out because these I'm going to want to have to hand so that I can check my colors as I go. But what I want to check though is whether we get bleed through outside of the line if I'm trying to be careful. So if I'm actually trying to be careful, will I be able to color this in without going over the lines? Let's take a little look. And I'm going to go for a nice dark potato brown in here. The pens have numbers and colors, but only in the swatches. The pens themselves only have a number on them. Let's try out this chisel. I'm going to slide my, I'm not going to because it hasn't been bleeding through to the other side. But this will be the test. Okay. It's doing well. Okay. And then let's do a blend with a 31 and 224. Let's see what we can do for blending here. Are you going to blend? Well, I'd have liked to have seen that blend a little bit more, but again, we're working on paper here that may have been chosen for its lack of bleeding through rather than complicated blending. Yeah, like we're getting bleeding over in the lines here. Mm. It's going to jump down to 38 for this highlight hue. The other thing I notice is the, well, as with most alcohol markers, you can't really gauge exactly which shade you're picking up from the plastic caps. You can kind of get an idea, but there's some where they probably should have flipped the colors over because one's lighter than the other or whatever. And, you need to go from the swatches and not from the plastics. Here. Okay. What color bow? It's continuing to bleed across those lines in that part. Okay. I will show you another way to blend to see if that helps on this paper a little bit more. Let's do the flower. Okay. So we'll do the tip to tip. Let's see how that works. And we're going to go for I'm going to take the medium pink and the vivid pink. What I'm going to do is take the caps off both. I'm going to take the darker one. I'm going to touch it to here. And I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, let's see. Okay, more. All right, let's do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, okay. Maybe I did it for too long. Okay. That might have been too much. Let's see if I can get that to blend out. There we go. Now we're starting to get to come back out. All right. Okay, I went the wrong way. So I need to do much less. In fact, it's still starting to blend out now. So I'm going to keep using this one. Okay. All right. Ignore that. Let's try again. I'm going to do it for 2 seconds. 1, 2. Okay. That's a bit cuter. Okay. 2 seconds. 1, 2. There you go. No. So that's the kind of more gentle blending you can expect to get from that rather than this way where it's just not blending on the paper at all. Now, this isn't a problem with the pens. I still think that it's just the paper choice that we have going on here. But yeah, don't be scared of that technique. Your pen will flush itself back to its original color, so you're really okay to do that. Let's try 107 and 35. So again, this is a big jump from here. 1, 2. Okay. So I think you see how that idea works. Let's do 291 6. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay. And then Oh, my scrap piece of paper. If I have any left, I can just run it out a bit more. Yep, there we go. Back to normal. No harm done. Okay. So cute. Let's try with some Nina cardstock. So I had this lying around. This is on the this would have been from Crafter's Companion Spectrum Noir. This is super smooth Nina cardstock. Okay, well, I finally figured out how to do skin. So that was tricky to color the little mermaid in. it's Future Becky coming back in with my finished alcohol colouring. This has been coloured completely with the Grabie markers, and I did eventually manage to find a way of doing skin tones. It was tricky, but I made it work. I used number 31, 25, 38 and 282 to get this skin down, but it's not my usual skin coloring that I would normally go for, but I made it work with the limited palette. They're working just as well as any other alcohol ink in terms of how much they flow. And I've just added some little accents here from some other glitter markers I have. I think Grabie also sells glitter markers, so the discount code in the description below will work on your cart as far as I understand, so whatever you're adding in. But yes, I'm very pleased with these. Let's take another look. Here they are. They come in this nice box. Like I say, I'm not partial to the iconography style coloring book, but maybe it suits a youngster or somebody who just needs to do little quick doodles whilst they're waiting for appointments or whatever. I want to do a comparison between one of these and an Ohuhu, because that's going to be the big question, is what's the difference between these, and should I spend extra and get the Ohuhu, or should I get this set from Grabie? Now, a couple of things to note. We are a triangular barrel here compared to a round barrel in these particular ones, but what Ohuhu does is they put little wings on the side of their lids to stop the rolling. However, this one won't roll because it's triangular, but it is a bit more ergonomic. So if you have got ergonomic requirements, you could take that into mind. Now let's just look at brush nib versus brush nib. Okay, because this is the expensive side of the tool, usually the brush nib. The Ohuhu, I do believe, is all the way through foam. The Grabie one looks definitely to be more almost fuzzy, so it is a little bit fluffier, so it's definitely going to be a more economical nib, I would presume, that they've used here, and obviously that's reflected in the price. But does that matter? Let's find out. As you can see, I can do beautiful colorings, and the hair here, if you notice, I mean, I've put in some tiny little bits of white, what do you call it, the fine tip white Posca pen on top, but all of these strokes here with the hair were made with the brush nib. And one of the things that we like to test with the brush nibs is the flexibility of the nib. So if I push this down, this is the Ohuhu. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe I need to do this at an angle for you. When I push this brush nib down, it stays in contact with the paper. Okay, and then it springs back. And that is why you can get really nice light flicks. Okay. So that is our Ohuhu. Let's compare that with our new friend Grabie. So where are we? There we are. When I push this one down, again, it stays into contact and it flips, it comes back to life. I can get some nice flicks. This one is so Ohuhu is a slightly firmer brush. This one's slightly softer, and it's probably also contributing to it giving a little bit more ink flow as well, because of the material used. So that's the brush side, or the business end for me usually. Now the chisel nib here. looks pretty much identical. They're exactly the same size. And again, with the brush nibs, you notice they're exactly the same size. It's worth noting that all alcohol markers will play together. You don't need to stick to any one particular brand. So if there are sets that you pick up like this, just as you go around, you go into a bookstore and pick up one of the little cheap sets, it's not a problem. They'll all work together. You still have the same problem where alcohol ink is not a light, fast medium. So you're always going to have to protect it or make it scan your pictures. They are photo ready artworks. They are not museum standard at all by any means. And that's going to be true with any marker. So if you're looking for, sorry, and I mean specifically alcohol markers. So if you're looking for something that is budget friendly, it comes in its own little, portable stash, and why not? Why not? Look at the color ranges you have here. Here's the color swatches again. So we're heavier on the pinks and blues. So probably a really nice set for botanicals, maybe even landscapes, all of that nice stuff. You can do that. Like I say, you can do the portrait, but it is a little bit more tricky. Perhaps if you can do the darker skin tones, you're going to have more luck with this color range. So it's worth playing around. Yeah, I'm going to be back with these, I think, so that I can, in a later video, do some coloring or do some artwork with just this limited range. It's a good exercise for me. Sometimes we get spoiled and then forget how to use color because we have too many colors. If you have 0 alcohol markers and you want this nice set to get started, get it. You've got nothing to lose really, unless any of these pens turn out to start leak and dry out. I will let you know if I encounter any of that. I've not really seen any issues of that, but no pen is immortal to the fate of plastic and design. There is alcohol is an evaporator. It's the nature of the beast. What I will say is, let me think. Yeah, another thing you can do, because obviously these are not open stock, is if you want to just use these to see how you get on with alcohol markers and kind of like test drive alcohol markers, this is a beautiful set. It really is. What I would do with these in the absence of being able to get open stock colors is, as colors start to dry out or run dry, you can then take a color family and start to replace those with an open stock brand if you like. So rather than going out and thinking, oh, well, I bought these, I'm never going to be able to refill them, blah, 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 blah. What you can do is just say, okay, well, that one's gone. Let me go and get another brand. There you go. Job done. So nice set, portable, cute. One last advice. When you're storing these, don't store them like that. Store them like this so that it helps the ink flow not disappear from one of the nibs. At any point with alcohol markers, if you ever feel that they are drying out a little bit, maybe you've left them for 6 months to a year, regular drugstore alcohol, you can clean up the marker nib, soak the marker nib a little bit, try and get some revival out of that. But like I say, I've had these for a few months now, and by the time that I finished this video, I've held on to these and played with these for a little while, and I have not had any dry out. And maybe you get a bonus of less atmosphere coming in because of the box. Who knows? But yes, it's a beautiful little set. Enjoy, and thank you for watching.